Wednesday, May 2020, and this is the garden tour. We still got those primrose doing really well here in the front, and the coreopsis are blooming like crazy. We've got the artemisia and the elderberry, and the globe thistle are starting to come along, getting tall in there. And these viburnums are looking pretty good. They've struggled the last couple of years. These dudes I think need more sun. I think I'm going to need to move them to give them more sun. There's a red one back here too. It's just struggling. But we've got, it's time to cut back the knockout roses. They really did a good job with their big full first bloom, but they're going to need to cut back. And there's still blooms in there that are small, so I'm going to have to kind of not just hack it up, I think, but well, I'll see. The heucheras are doing well back there, and the beauty berries are coming along. These little salvias are doing okay. I think they're getting just enough sun here. And the native elderberries seem to be doing really well. They've got flowers on. This is, I believe, Cherokee. Leaves are a little crumply, but you know, still getting itself in position. This is a little tiny viburnum. I think it's Snowflake. It's starting to look like it's going to survive after a couple of years of really struggling and moving. And this artemisia is looking good up front here. That coreopsis is going crazy back there, but it's not really visible, and you just see the backs of them from the front of the house, you know, people on the street. So I think maybe those coreopsis should be moved. Don't know. These little guys who've started to bloom this year, they're really pretty. They're low. There's some kind of iris. The tubers are really strange. And but now they're finally starting to do something. I don't know what they were a couple of years when they'd moved. They just didn't bloom, but now they're doing something. Those irises are doing well in there. I might add to that because this is a trouble spot up here under this oak. And the irises and the artemisia and the lamb's ear all seem to like it. And sure enough, the daylilies here surviving. I'm not sure which kind those are. And we've got the bergamot, which I cut as it first started to bolt into different levels. See how that goes. The asparagus is not awesome. I took some cuttings from this hyssop. We'll see how that goes. And the Verbena bonariensis are looking good. They're getting serious. I'd like to have more of them here, so I'm going to toss down those seeds, I think, and just let the seed heads hit the ground, because sorting out the seeds in the fall and then tossing them on the ground just doesn't seem to work real well. I didn't get much of a response in this area when I did that. And looking pretty good over here. This is the version of the native elderberry called Laine, L-A-I-N-E. And it's got the purple stems, and it seems to be really the most vigorous, maybe. Well, maybe, arguably. This one here is Bob G. It's not doing that much. And back here, gotta move those little tiny Joe Pye weed. This one's got the most vigorous. It's called Barber, but it's growing really tall. This has got to be like almost 7 feet. It's got these flowers starting to bud. It's doing pretty well. All this needs weeding, of course. But the seed that I threw down of the globe thistle and the coneflower, and I put in there too some Verbena bonariensis, but the Verbena bonariensis didn't come up, but the others seem to be. it's doing pretty well. These guys again, and last time I videoed this, these were just opening and now they're gone. The Vitex is looking pretty good. It's not getting all the sun in the world here, so we'll see how that goes. I'm hoping it'll keep it just kind of lacy and light and not do it any harm per se. I'm going to go over here now to the new Vitex on the other side. That's the far end of the garden, actually. The elderberry here put on flowers, and then it doesn't seem to be setting any fruit. That's okay. But the flowers are pretty, but they're pretty much gone now, May 20th. These guys are up, and I think that's for sure going to be a kind of milkweed. Kind of see it here. So I'm excited about that. Got some aphids going, but that's okay. I'm going to leave the aphids there, and anyone who wants to eat them will come and get them, I guess. It's funny, the aphids are only really on one plant. That's odd. Well, interesting. This viburnum, doing well. This hyssop, always a struggle. And this beautiful flower. That's my Bullerton Old Hall rose, and it's, you know, it's doing what it can. These little stalks coming up from it, they're a little spindly, and they're kind of fragile, and I don't know, it's getting all the sun, but it's coming out in not really strong. I think this may be a part of how it just grows. Well, that one's got just rot. There has been a lot of rain. The other one up here is not in love with its location. It seems to be vigorous, and it's trying. I cut the blooms off of that, and I'm trying to get it to go up, but it wants to flower. It's not shooting up a hard, long stem. I don't know. It's got the spots on it because of all the rain. So I'm going to leave it here. It's not getting super amount of sun, but I think I'm going to give it a chance here. Give it a chance. And catnip. So pretty, the rose. And my alliums. There they are. The alliums are doing pretty well. They're starting to go over now. They've been strong. This is apparently the little allium called Blue that, they're not spectacular. Maybe they will be when they mature a little more. Just like this, Artemisia is not looking particularly great. These guys, still waiting for them to do their thing. Can't wait to find out what's going to happen. Very dramatic. The eggplant over there, looking pretty good for all that it's under a tree, but it's getting a regular amount of sun, and it's doing pretty well. These coreopsis are going nuts. Roses are needing to get cut back. And now the tomatoes. This is my cherry tomato plant, and it's got its little cherry tomatoes under there. So we'll see how those go. But not mature yet. The parsley has bolted. And I keep saying I need to cut back that comfrey. I sure do. And the Cherokee purples are putting on a lot of buds. And we've got some actual tomatoes going on in here. Need to transplant that basil to someplace that's less rich and less wet. Same thing going on over here. They're doing really well. Doing pretty well. The strong sun's making for not great photography. And these salvias that I love are starting to bloom. Viburnum here is starting to leave go its flowers, and this one here I thought was kind of a mess, but there are a few little berries there, so we'll see how that viburnum. He seems generally healthy. And this is one of the three crepe myrtles, ebony and ivory, doing pretty well. The 9 bark I've taken cuttings from, and it's doing really well. And these are the 9 bark that are going to be taller. Got 2 of those in. And this guy, he's just starting to put on his buds, this elderberry. This is the one that I'd given a trim to, so it's blooming later than the other. My peppers are starting to put on buds. Not a big plant, but it's doing it. Looks healthy. And this is how the borders are looking. Maybe better to get a look from the other side. It's looking pretty good. The pathway, getting there, almost done. I got this whole section done. I had that done before last time I filmed. But this eggplant, which had struggled quite a bit, is coming on. It's getting along. This elderberry, doing okay. And these sunchokes are up past that railing. They have grown quickly, as has that grass, which is really pretty. And I don't know which is which anymore. They've gotten scrambled up. So I'm going to keep my eye on it, put in some of that, the red grass that I like so much. It's an annual. And I'm planning where I'm going to put some more of the Artemisia in here. The white against that purple should be pretty. I need something tall in here, I think. This is a beautiful, beautiful grass. This I need more of. This I want to propagate. This is pretty when the light comes from the west, coming from this direction, and it goes through that. That's so pretty. And it's doing just so lovely. I am in love with that. More of that grass. Those are daisies I just put in. The elderberry, the black elderberry I took from a cutting. This guy that got hacked up and he's coming back. And this is what got accomplished just recently. This corner finally completely weeded. And a path. So the pathway is all set and done. So this is great. Put in some bachelor buttons. My new Vitex tree. And my zinnias from seed. Put in some cosmos. And 1, 2, there should be a third. I'm not really seeing it. There should be 3. Uh-oh. I'm gonna go get another one. Of the Artemisia that I took. These are seedlings that came up over by the bird bath. So they seem to really do well with transplanting. So I'm gonna leave those there and perhaps put some more in there because I got a couple more seedlings. This grass, again, don't know what that is, but sure is pretty. I like the form of it, and I hope it's going to have some nice seed heads that are going to be pretty. They haven't shown up yet, but it's pretty. It's behaving. But the stalks are pretty stiff. Yep, there's another grass. It got bashed. We'll see what that is. I've moved it because it got bashed by the people who did the lawn. But there we are. And there we go.